If you use a face cam in OBS, whether you're streaming or recording, having a camera operator to keep track of your face to make sure you don't go out of the scene is actually pretty important. But of course, most of us can't do that, especially if you're just messing around with your camera as just you. But there is an OBS plugin that lets you track your face and keep it in scene pretty much always. Let's go ahead and install it and show you exactly what it does. In the description down below, you'll find a link to the OBS project Face Tracker, as you can see here. Click Go to Download in the top right, then scroll down here on this Releases page until you see all the downloads here. You'll be downloading whichever one corresponds with your system. For example, mine will be Windows all the way at the bottom here. Yours will likely be too. If your version isn't listed, the latest version will probably work anyways, so that's what I'll be downloading. Once the file's downloaded, open it up, and you'll see these two folders. We'll need to manually install it. So navigate across to where OBS is installed, which is usually C, Program Files, NOT86, OBS, as you can see here, OBS Studio, and this is the folder that we need to drag the files into in order to install it. So we'll drag out Data and OBS plugins into this folder here and merge them as such. There we go. Continue. Do this for all. Continue. And there we go. The plugin is now installed. Right, so once you've got it installed, we can go ahead and reopen OBS. Do note you'll need to restart it completely. And now when it pops up again, all we need to do is navigate across to our camera, then right-click our camera source and choose Filters. Then, under the Effect Filters, click the plus, and we'll be adding a new filter called Face Tracker. When we do so and give it a name, you'll see a whole bunch of presets over here, which are a little bit confusing, and of course, it'll start zooming in pretty close just to show you that it's working. Obviously, you don't want it this close, but if we move, you should see that it follows us pretty much everywhere. This is already not that bad. Let's go ahead and customize it. So, scrolling down, we have a bunch of different face detection options, which of course looks a little bit confusing, but this does give you a huge amount of control. Unlike the NVIDIA Face Tracker, which is used by StreamFX, this one uses your CPU, which is good, especially if you play GPU demanding games. Of course, that is another alternative, which I'll probably go through in another video. But for now, all of the options here for face detection we don't really need to mess around with. The one thing you might want to enable is all the way down here, enable landmark detection, which should track your eyes and mouth as well, which should be a little bit more accurate. Basically, all these options say how big the box should be that it's looking for your face in, but for default settings, it's probably more than good enough. Then scrolling down, the next section is target tracking location. Here we can change the maximum zoom scale, for example, 2 pushes us into here, 3 takes us all the way in way closer, and then we have X and Y. Essentially, when you adjust these, you'll be pushing yourself left, right, up, and down, respectively, by adjusting these two options. Usually you'll want it maybe, I don't know, there seems relatively good, and we can adjust ourselves to be more central or taking up the top third maybe. So probably 1.5, yeah, that seems relatively good, and we'll want to be more centered. Pretty much perfect. Now when we move around, it should follow us, hopefully, exactly. The zoom feature at the top, I'm not entirely too sure what it does, but if I push it up, it gets a little bit jittery, so usually around 1 is probably fine here. The next section is tracking response. There's a ton of different letters here, but essentially KP is how responsive it is, so if we crank this up, you should see it moves around pretty much straight away as soon as anything happens, and KI is the speed at which it travels. So if we crank this all the way up and move around very quickly, you should see it's pretty much straight away. Very, very weird. TD is the acceleration, so it moves slowly at first and then speeds all the way up to our KI, which is the maximum speed. If we crank up the acceleration too, you should see it gets really weird and it follows us pretty much perfectly. This of course can get super jittery, as you can see. If for some reason it's jittering a lot, you can play around with LPF, and raising this from 2 to maybe 10 makes it a lot smoother. But of course there's only so much you can do, and you probably wouldn't want it this fast anyways. I'll be setting everything down to around, let's see, 0.3 maybe, and it's a lot better. If you happen to use the landmark detection where it uses your mouth and eyes instead, it is going to be quite a bit more snappy, as it's going to be focusing on those. If it's a bit too slow, you can obviously raise it and change it as you like. Scrolling down, we have deadband, which if I crank these up, you'll see it follows us pretty much everywhere, but if you don't want it tracking you on, say, the y-axis, we can set this to maybe 10, and just like that, it'll only really track us side to side and only a little bit up and down. As soon as we move outside of however big the box is, it's going to start moving the camera. So let's go for, I don't know, deadband X. So now it's not moving at all until we move too far. It'll eventually follow us, as you can see there. So we have a little bit of wiggle room until we move just outside of this 10 area. Obviously, you can customize this as much as you want. Maybe around 2 or 3 is probably good in my case, doing a little bit of movement. And if we go too far, it'll move the camera. Maybe one for these. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Scrolling all the way down, finally aspect should just be same as the source. And at the very bottom, we can show face detection results. You'll see boxes around my face, which is essentially all the different settings that we've been playing around with, and you can customize it as you see fit. Having this on is probably good, especially if you're learning how things work. If we enable landmark detection, for example, it should track my eyes instead of just my general face. Then stop tracking faces. It should just show you what's happening to the camera and us, as you can see here. And that's pretty much it. We've now gone through the entire plugin. If I go ahead and add this super exaggerated example to my face cam, you can see it keeps me pretty much exactly where I am no matter where I move, which is pretty cool. Obviously, this will have different uses based on whatever you're using it on. In my case, it'll mostly keep me in frame when I'm doing things like live streams, for example. And obviously, I won't have it this insane. This is just overkill, but it's just for an example. Anyways, that's really about it for the super quick guide. Hopefully this video helped you. Thank you for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.